Welcome to this video on working with Route 53. So let's go on to the networking and content delivery section. Let's click on Route 53. Now currently I have not done anything with Route 53 in this account. So basically I have the get started now. So let's click on the DNS management and click on get started. So now I'm going to create my first hosted zone. So let's click on create hosted zone. Now this will be a public hosted zone. Now I have a domain name known as commitmenthub.com that's basically created on GoDaddy. You can use any domain name manager if you want. So I'm basically going to use this same custom DNS domain name. I'm going to go to Route 53 and basically say this is going to be my domain name. And I'm going to click on create. So now I have my domain or the hosted zone, available in Route 53 as well. Now the thing I need to do is that I have these name servers. So currently in GoDaddy, basically it's using its own default name servers. I need to change this. So I need to edit it. So I'm just going to basically refresh this. So I need to change these name servers. So let me go and click on change. And I'm going to click on custom. Now I need to enter the name servers. So these are the 4 name servers I need to basically enter into GoDaddy. So what I've done is that I've gone ahead and entered those 4 name servers which are basically there in Route 53 and basically done save changes. Now it takes time. By the time this is basically populated all over the world where in terms of the name servers. So that's why I want to do this prerequisite first. So if you're basically following along, if you have your own domain name, you need to make sure you create your hosted zone and then you update the name servers accordingly, and then wait for some time for this refresh to happen, and then you can basically follow along. So this was the prerequisite chapter on basically making sure that you have your domain name updated in Route 53. So let's now move on to the next chapter. Hi and welcome to this chapter in which we are basically going to configure Route 53 using a simple routing policy. So over here, we are basically going to go on to the network and the content delivery section. We'll go on to our Route 53 service. So let's go to our hosted zone. So our hosted zone is commitmenthub.com. We have name servers already defined and we've already basically added that to our GoDaddy domain. We've ensured that we've given enough time for the name servers to be populated throughout the world so that we can actually access it via our commitmenthub.com URL. Now let's create our first record set. So when we go to commitmenthub.com, we basically want to get the Nginx URL or the Nginx page on the Ubuntu A server. So let's take the IP. This is our elastic IP. It can also be a public IP. Let's copy this, go on to Route 53 and put it in the value section. So here's where you can actually put an IP address because you are choosing the type as IPv4. So now that we've basically defined the type of record set and put the value as the IP address, we can leave the name as it is because we basically want that if anybody just goes to commitmenthub.com, you will basically get the Nginx homepage. Let's choose the routing policy as simple. Let's leave it as it is. And let's just click on create. So now we basically have a record created. Let's go to our URL in the browser. So now you can see that when we go to commitmenthub.com, Route 53 is routing the request to our Ubuntu A server. So it's that simple. That is how the simple routing policy works. We just have to basically choose the record type, map it to your IP address if you're choosing the IP address record type, and Route 53 will manage the rest for you. So this marks the end of this chapter on the simple routing policies. In the further chapters, we'll actually now look at the other routing policies available with Route 53.